Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome replay viewers. Once again, we are at the Long Island Railroad Westhampton station, awaiting the arrival of tonight's Long Island Railroad train 16, the Cannonball. Mike Wells, hello to you. Thank you for joining tonight. All right, Cannonball is about 10 minutes away from arrival here. Mr. Master 767 from Babylon. Yes, next Thursday, Craig. July 3rd, Cannonball. Dutch Vanderlinde, good to see you. Thank you for joining me tonight. As you can see where we are, facing east here at Westhampton Station. I just checked the train time app and it looks like it's made up some time because apparently it left Penn Station 3 or 4 minutes late today. I watched it go through Woodside with this new camera that's been installed at the Woodside station. That's pretty neat to see. And then about a half hour ago I drove out here to Westhampton. Now we'll also show you that the parking lot is starting to fill up. People coming up to pick up passengers. Even though the weather forecast isn't that terrific for the East End for this weekend, I think you're going to see a good crowd on this train tonight, considering it is June 27th and schools are closed now. So kind of an unofficial start to the summer season here on the East End. 7 days ahead of the 4th of July holiday. Let me spin around now to the west. If we see any more airplanes coming into Gabreski Airport, we'll try to catch those. Primarily corporate jets, Gulfstreams and the like. And we're under the approach pattern tonight, or just parallel to it, off to the side of it. Oh, that's you're being asked a good question there, Dutch. So you were engineer in charge of 1559? Oh, here comes a jet in now. Let's get him on the picture. Okay, that's the approach to Francis S. Gabreski Airport, Suffolk County's municipal airport. I've told the story many times, but I'll tell it again tonight. Suffolk County Airport, or now known as Francis S. Gabreski Airport, was originally a United States Air Force base during World War II and up to the late 1960s. It still houses the New York Air National Guard Air Sea Rescue Group, made famous by the Perfect Storm movie and incident many years ago. Also made famous, I might say, during the July 16th, 1996 episode with TWA Flight 800. Fanrail, thank you for joining. Fanrail K, thank you. I've told you the story of the history of Francis S. Gabreski Airport. I'll just repeat some highlights of that. So Frank Gabreski was a World War II ace in the European campaign against Nazi Germany in 1944 and 45. And he flew Republic P-47 Thunderbolts, which were built right here on Long Island in East Farmingdale. Shafiyat Hossein is with us. Hello, how are you doing tonight? All right, let's catch this jet coming in to Gabreski. Little side action before the Cannonball gets here. Okay. Yeah, lots of activity. All the high rollers are flying into Suffolk County Suffolk County Municipal Airport, Francis Gabreski Airport. I think this train will be a lot of people here, and a lot of people coming to the east end of Long Island tonight and over the weekend. So anyway, we were talking about the airport and other incidents. I'm very proud to say, I haven't shared this with too many people, but I'm very proud to say that several of my aunts, my father's sisters, worked at Republic Aviation during World War II as Rosie the Riveters, building these P-47 Thunderbolts. So that's a point of pride in our family. And my uncle Tom, whom one of the Ryan sisters married at the time, was a foreman there at the Republic plant, which then of course later years Republic became Fairchild Aviation, and it's out of business now obviously, but you have the Republic Airport is still there, right? Another municipal type airport, private airplanes, and the Air Museum is there. It's tough to tell what July 3rd, yeah, they're running, is it July 4th? They're running a weekend, a holiday schedule, right? We're counting on the, here comes the train. We're counting on the train, the Cannonball being the night of July 3rd, Thursday night. That's what we're thinking is going to happen. Okay, he's making good time coming up through the area there just to the west of us toward Old Country Road. Train comes up a slight incline, rolling into the station here, kicking up his ballast dust. He's approaching. We'll see who's on point and who's at trail. Okay. .506 on point. Cannonball. .12 Kawasaki C3 bilevel passenger coaches. Yeah, he made up lost time. Let's spin around. Watch this. The first 6 cars will be opened now. Allow the people to get off the first 6 cars. Then the crew will execute what they call a double stop. Close up the front of the train, move the train forward so the rear 6 cars can platform, and they'll then open the doors on the rear 6 coaches. And the people back here will be able to get off. Yeah, they may be a few minutes late, sometimes leaving Penn Station and traveling through Queens and Jamaica. But once they hit the Babylon branch, they can make up time because he can get this thing up to almost 80 miles an hour. Out here in diesel territory, I believe they're limited to 65 miles an hour. But don't quote me on that. We'd have to talk to one of their engineers about that. Good sized crowd getting off the first 6 cars, folks. This is a good sized summer weekend crowd that's here, first stop at Westhampton. All right, here's the train being moved forward for the double stop. And from what I can see through the tinted windows, this train is crowded. Here comes our engine and trail. 504. 504. Hi, how are you tonight? There's our great MOE crew. Good guys. Another jet going into Gabreski over the airplane, over the train. Airplane flying in over the train. Let's zoom in on the rear DM here. You can see the Cannonball logo attached to the rear of the train and also on the lead engine. .506 on the point, 504 on the rear. Yes. Okay, leaving Westhampton. Next stop, Southampton, Bridgehampton, East Hampton, and Montauk. And that's for you good people. That's our MOE crew blowing the horns in the rear locomotive for all of my viewers. Now let's get back to one size zoom. Okay. Good crowd tonight. Good crowd here at Westhampton for the summer. Ahead of the 4th of July holiday. I will be hanging out here until the traffic thins out. I won't be able to get out of here with my truck for another 5 minutes or so. Again, the plan is, folks, I will take the recording off the iPhone and put it up on my YouTube channel as a backup to the live broadcast.
Hello.
And then in case anything happens with, buffering, anything like that with the video here at Westhampton. Although it looks like we have a good strong signal tonight. Sometimes that's marginal. And then our next broadcast will probably be Sunday from Spionk, mid-afternoon or early afternoon. Well, hope you get back out here. It would be good to see you again, and usually we get quite a few people show up on for the 4th of July train. I'm telling everybody, and Mr. Master 767 will most likely be the most logical person to confirm this, but this Friday night Cannonball is going to be on Thursday night, July 3rd. Now they may also run a train on July 4th. I'd have to recheck the schedule for that, but July 4th will be a holiday schedule, not a weekday schedule. So it'll be a little different. I will be here for the Thursday broadcast, July 3rd, for the arrival of the Cannonball, because that's the one that's really packed, assuming the weather is good. So we'll sign off now, folks, and I'll be back on the air Sunday just a little before 1 p.m. Eastern Time for the train 6095, the 12-car set that takes a lot of people back from Montauk and the East End back to New York City all the way to Penn Station. They operate it now in the summer as a DM all the way to Penn Station. And most likely it will be the equipment you saw tonight. Okay, goodbye to you, fan railer. Thank you very much for joining. Goodbye to all my good friends who take the time to view. Let's get one more view of a corporate jet coming into Gabreski Airport. See you soon, Shafiat. Okay, take care, folks.